Do you ever find yourself feeling completely overwhelmed when you think of all the things you have to do? Do you feel like there is no end to the amount of work you have to do? Not to mention, you have no control over your schedule. If you answered yes to one or all of those questions, then this episode is just what you need. Today, we're going to talk about some simple steps that you can take to improve your time management. This involves you creating system number 2 in this series, your scheduling system. Welcome to the Mind Your Time podcast with Shannon Baker. I'm your coffee-loving host and the CEO of a boutique consulting company where I work with purpose-driven women like you who have tight schedules and an aversion to technology. But they're ready to get organized and create business systems so they can leave overwhelm behind and get things done. I strongly believe that being busy is not a badge of honor. We just need to be more intentional with our time and create success on our own terms. So grab your cup of coffee, some sparkling water, or pour a glass of your favorite wine, and let's dive into today's topic. Managing your time helps you achieve your goals, reduces procrastination, and increases productivity, which impacts the growth of your business. Now, I'm going to throw in a disclaimer here. In order for you to be productive, you have to be working on the right goals, and you should have a strategy to help you make progress. Otherwise, nothing else is going to matter. It'll be like the proverbial throwing spaghetti against the wall and waiting for it to stick. All you end up with is a big mess. Now, if you're not sure if you're working on the right goal for the season that your life is in, which is very important, or if you don't have a goal at all, then you should definitely check out my free audio training, How to Grow Your Business Without Being Overwhelmed. It will help you identify the season your life is in right now, pick a goal that fits into that season, and create a plan that you can follow and work on without getting overwhelmed while growing your business. Now, I started off by talking about you having the right goal because your strategy needs to support that. And then once you have a strategy, you create the plan. But none of that matters if you don't have control of your schedule. And that's one of the biggest reasons you need to use an online scheduler in your business. Let's start by talking about some of the benefits of using an online scheduler. One of the biggest benefits is you can work without interruptions. Has this ever happened to you? You're in the zone, you're getting work done. Then you get an unscheduled phone call. After spending 30 minutes on that call, you realize you were not a good fit for this person. So you hang up, and then you spend the next 30 minutes trying to remember exactly what you were working on before. If you ever remember, you can probably pick up where you left off, but by the time that you do that, you probably have to wrap up the day because it's time to go pick up the kids from school or do something else. Or you may even have another call that was scheduled. Or if the call was from a client, you may end up being on the phone with them for an hour and you just solved their problem for free. I know I got tired of this happening to me, and that's one of the many reasons that I started using an online scheduler. But the biggest reason was because I needed to keep my business contained within my business hours. So I limit all calls to specific days and time slots on my calendar. This allows me to conserve energy because I'm not switching back and forth between tasks or even the type of calls because different calls have different days. So instead, I'm prepared to take a few calls in a row, which means my brain is working in the same mental space, so I'm more productive and it's more efficient. And then after my last call, I can just send follow-up emails or do whatever I need to do before I move on to the next task. Now, since I have response templates already set up in my Gmail account, I can quickly customize those follow-up emails, schedule them to go out the next business day, and I'm done. Now, the next benefit. An online scheduler puts you in control of your time. This puts boundaries around your schedule and it allows you to maximize the windows of time that you have available so that you can get stuff done. When you do not have these boundaries in place, too many tasks leave you feeling overwhelmed. And unscheduled phone calls, again, they break your concentration and reduce your efficiency and productivity. No matter who you are, how long you've been in business, you have to have a schedule to get things done. And you have to manage your time and understand how to control your calendar instead of the calendar controlling you. Using an online scheduler really makes it easy for everyone to have your undivided attention at a specific point in time. You're telling people when they can talk to you, and they can make a decision on their own based on your availability. Here's some data for you. Research shows that 35% of customers prefer scheduling appointments during non-business hours, and 40% of online bookings actually happen after working hours. I know I fall into the category of someone who schedules appointments at odd hours on the weekends and, some weird days and times sometimes, and my clients do the same thing. But an online scheduler makes it easy and convenient for everyone. In the busy and fast-paced world that we live in, that can often mean most of the time that they're scheduling these appointments outside of your business hours. And by the way, I hope you have set business hours, because that is a key boundary that you need in place to make sure that you are not always available for your business. Now, since you should not be sitting by the phone 24/7, an online scheduler enables you to attract clients and business opportunities even when you're not available. Plus, your existing clients have the same access to your calendar, as well as you can have consistent communication with each of them, which is very important because it's an automated system. This is a key element to you being more intentional with your time, because your business can grow without you having to do anything but provide the link. I've been on vacation and back office assessments were booked, so I got paid. And that triggers an entire system with automation that helps each person prep for that call with me, and I don't have to do anything at all. But in order for an online schedule to be beneficial for you, you have to have a calendar that you maintain in real time. All of your life needs to be in a digital calendar. Then the scheduling tool syncs with your calendar and displays the services that you offer and the available time slots. And here's the great thing. You can connect your scheduler to Google Calendar, Outlook, or iCal. It can also collect payments for you if it's a paid appointment, because you can connect your Stripe or your PayPal account. So that eliminates you having to wait for someone to pay an invoice. Now, here's the benefit on top of you using it as well when they schedule appointments. It sends reminders for you. How many times have you set an appointment with someone and you forgot to put it on your calendar, so you were a no-show? That's embarrassing, right? But how do you feel when someone's a no-show and they schedule the appointment with you? I know it irritates me. An online scheduler removes our memories from the equation. So after an appointment is booked, the scheduler adds the appointment to your calendar automatically and blocks it off so that you don't have overlapping appointments. And it gives people the option to do the same. Their confirmation email has a button on it so they can add it to their calendar. Your online scheduling tool is also going to send, again, an automatic confirmation and reminders to the other person, which reduces no-shows. And you can connect your Zoom, Google Hangouts, or GoToMeetings to your online scheduler as well, and it will automatically include the link for them to join your meeting at the designated time. These emails take the hassle out of rescheduling and canceling appointments too, which is great. So that eliminates you having to go back and forth to get things rescheduled. They can just click the link in the reminder email. They get, again, your availability in real time, and they make a decision from there. Now, when it comes to your types of appointments, your scheduler can screen people for you, which is a time saver. So before you hop on a call, think about this. Would you like to have the important information in one location that you can refer to easily? Are there some qualifying questions that you would like answered before you get on the phone with that new lead to make sure they're a qualified lead? Well, if you use intake forms with your online scheduler, that is exactly what you get and even more. Now, I use different types of intake forms based on the appointment type. So for a free call with me, it gathers the basic data that I need to know. So when I look at their responses, I know what they do, who they serve, a range of how much their business makes, how they found me, why they're reaching out now, and how much of a priority getting their systems in place is. Now, for the back office assessment, the intake form is a bit more detailed. I get more background information on their business, how it operates, and this helps me to customize the assessment questions specifically for them and their needs. Now, if I'm having a guest on my podcast, the intake form collects all the information that I need for that episode. That's their bio, headshot, couple of questions that they would like for me to ask, and then they also submit the links to anything that I'm going to put in the show notes. And that information is automatically entered into an Airtable base for me so that I can easily grab it later. How's that for boosting your productivity? So honestly, these are really just a few of the benefits of using an online scheduling system, but it is definitely a useful tool to help you manage your time and your appointment. Now, here are a few tips to help you use it effectively. 1, you need to choose a scheduler that fits your needs. Now, I know there are a number of options, Calendly, Acuity, and many more out there. And if you want help to determine which tool is best for you, then you can go back and listen to the episode I did about how to pick your tech tools. I'm going to put a link to that in the show notes. Now, once you've chosen a scheduler, you need to set it up starting with your availability. This allows people to see when you're free and when you're not. But again, I highly recommend you create time blocks for your calls and limit them to specific days on your schedule. Make sure you also set appointment preferences like the length of the appointment, and make sure you add padding before and after your appointments. You can accept payments, and there's so many options. It just depends on which platform you choose. Now, when I say padding, that means adding time between your appointments so they're not stacked on top of each other. This way, you've got room to get up and stretch and even go to the bathroom in between appointments. Not to mention your appointments aren't back to back. Have you ever clicked on a Zoom link to meet with someone and it tells you that they have a meeting that's already in progress? Well, if you have some time padded in between your appointments, you can avoid those overlapping calls. It does require you to focus on ending your call within the allotted time. Now, using your online scheduler to manage appointments is going to take discipline from you. Do not circumvent the system by slipping back into your old ways of plain email tag to get appointments set. And make sure you put the links where you can easily copy and paste and send them to someone to make an appointment with you. You can create response templates that include the links. You can also embed the links on your website, and that is definitely great for sales pages. So in conclusion, using an online scheduler can save you time and make scheduling appointments way easier. But just make sure you choose a scheduler that works for you and set it up properly to fit your preferences. Now, again, I use Acuity, which is also known as Squarespace Scheduling, since they merged in 2019. So if you already have a Squarespace website, you can add the scheduler, I believe, for an additional cost, but you can do it right in the dashboard of your website. And if you want step-by-step directions to help you get your Acuity account set up, including intake form questions, then the Mighty Society is just what you need. There are step-by-step directions, sample questions in there to help you get your appointments set up, confirmation and reminder templates that you can customize. To get more information on that, go to theshannonbaker.com/membership. So let's quickly recap how a scheduling system will help you manage your time better. 1, it puts boundaries around your schedule by limiting your availability for calls. That way you can work without being interrupted by unscheduled phone calls. 2, it puts you in control of your time because you set your availability and people can book calls with you when it's convenient for both of you. But as long as your calendar is up to date, it shows your availability in real time. So that requires you to keep your calendar up to date. 3, It will send reminders for you automatically that includes the link for them to join your virtual meeting. And these reminders also contain the options for them to add the call to their calendar. And if the need be, they can reschedule the call without having to contact you. And 4, if you use intake forms with your appointments, those forms will gather the data that you need and screen leads in advance so that you are ready for that call. So at the end of the day, an online scheduler allows you to achieve a higher rate of successful bookings, which results in happier clients and higher profits for you. And that's why it's one of the 6 core systems that every small business needs to have in place. Now, if you're still on the fence about this, keep in mind an online scheduler is the new norm. If you don't have it, your clients are going to think that you've kind of fallen behind the competition. Well, that's my opinion anyway. I know that's how I feel. But if you have any questions about anything that I've talked about today, shoot me a DM on Instagram at _Shannon Baker, or just send me an email. Let's get those questions answered and get your scheduling system in place today. It's vital to improve your client experience, which is what we're going to be talking about next week. So make sure you meet me back here next week, because we're going to talk about that system, which is going to improve the client experience, not only inside your business, but outside your business. That's your communication system. This one system provides a glimpse into the inner workings of your business. It either helps build trust, which is a critical component in the know, like, and trust factor, or creates doubt about your ability to deliver your services. So tune in next week to hear more about that. I just want to thank you for tuning in this week. I hope today's episode was helpful, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it. So please feel free to DM me on Instagram at _Shannon Baker and let me know your thoughts. My goal is to help you enjoy your journey, because I know it's not easy, but there is strength in numbers. If you have any topics or ideas you would like for me to talk about on the podcast in the future, please make sure you reach out and let me know as well. I cannot wait to hear from you. So until next time, keep calm and streamline.